Hey Silver, I'm going to Radiant's gym. I got a call from Blue about a guy named Red. You might come in to pick me up later? About like 3 hour? Me? Why do you need me to pick you up? Because I lost my coat. You need to take better care of your own things. How will you ever take down an Indigo League like that? Fine, but you owe me. Alright, I'll see you later. He chimes. Another door can be heard opening and closing as footsteps disappeared into the distance. Silver just sighed as the footsteps disappeared. Well, now he had 3 hours to kill, with whatever Ethan was doing. The walk to Radiant's gym wasn't too comfortable. Even in the rain with no coat, Ethan hummed and put his hands behind his head as he made his way there. It took a while from where they were currently staying in Kanto. But once he arrived, he knocked the door. Blue, you're in there? Knocking 2 more times. Not really, out of impatience. Or maybe it was. Blue wasn't the one to keep strong trainers waiting. And he liked to think he was a strong trainer. Just a little bit. Not as much as Silver did. He wasn't that kind of a person comparatively. But he knew that he wouldn't keep him waiting. He hoped anyways. It took him a few seconds, but Blue appeared, unlocking the doors to the gym. His eyes looked tired as he rubbed in. Sorry for keep you waiting. Come on in. Thanks. Ethan smiled as he walked in. He somewhat pouted. Nothing but dark rings. Or maybe they were just red. But he wasn't going to call him out on it, though. Bad day? Nah, just busy. Wasn't able to sleep last night with all that thunder. He locks the door once Ethan in before guiding him into his office, which had a small table in the center, piles of paper inside boxes along with a small swell chair with Blue's jacket lying over it. A normal chair and off to his left. As Ethan walked through the door is another door, which simply says supplies. There was a window that faced into the room, but it was pitch black inside. The Blue goes to his swirl chair and sits down stretching. I thought it was pretty relaxing. Ethan chuckles. It was loud, but that wasn't necessarily bad. Made it a low headache behind his eye, but that just made Ethan focus on the rumbling of it more until it drafted him to sleep, like he had to. His lips purse as he looked around. Wow, the office looked really boring. Did gym leaders really had to deal with all that paperwork? No wonder Blue was tired. He'd been burning the midnight oil. The supply office catching his eye. I don't think the gym leader had all this work. Half of it isn't specifically work. I spent years looking for Red. All these were just death reports in Kanto region all over the years. Oh yeah. Ethan feels a little guilty, awkward laughing, feeling bad for his natural responses to awkwardness. So he shut his mouth, making a hiccup instead. The death report of Kanto region? That's despairing, right? I want to help you look, but if he beats you in a heartbeat, he totally wiped me out before I could tell him anything. I can't even beat you. What could I do? And then something burning in these words. But he doesn't want to dwell on the sad stuff, so he asks, do you really think I look like him? Well, you do, yeah, but not so much specifically, But about the closest thing to him in appearance, but that spark you've got, like the flames, like him. Blue sighs for a while, running a hand through his hair, along putting the death reports away and putting the box back down. He stands to pick up the map and sits down at the desk and is opening up. I hope so. Since I'm aiming for Kanto champion too. He only really seen Red in pictures, not in person. So he wonders if his hat being forwards would help with it. Not his style actually, just a weird thought. He hovered over as he looked at the map too, standing on his tiptoes. Despite the fact he could see, it's just fine. It gave him some thoughts on the situation. He felt like, or perspective either way. The map is covered in red X's all over Johto and Kanto. These places I've asked around, visit, places that he could be, but wasn't there. There were like few rumors going around, heard them from kids who battle me, but like, I'm gonna believe them. Well, that sucks. It's such a large language. And he's not anywhere. A person can't have just disappeared out of nowhere. Ethan scratches the back of his head. Why not? It's like you have any other leads, right? I'm not saying they're 100% credible or anything. It's just try again, right? You want to believe me he was killed by Team Rocket and his body parts were sold off for money? Sure. That wouldn't be on the death reports, but... What? No. No. I wasn't saying that. I was thinking more like he kicked his shoes into the floor. I wasn't thinking about that dark. Besides, I took care of them. They wouldn't hurt anybody without their boss, and he never show up anywhere. It's a naive, childish statement, but he swears by it. They shouldn't and couldn't. I doubt Red would lose to them anyways. Especially if he beat as a champion. He brows his eyes. Maybe it was in Ethan's mind, but along with the thinking, he could see tears welling up in Blue's eyes. He also thinks that he hears tapping, yet Blue's fingers were moving on a table. Ethan now just feels bad all over again. What's that tapping sound even? Maybe he should leave the gym leader alone for a moment. Hey, I left my coat here, I think. Mind if I look at it? I got a soda pop, my treat. Sorry for calling you over so late. By the way. Hey, it's no problem, man. I'm only inconveniencing another friend of mine. Pardon. He excuses himself as he makes his way out of the door. He hums when he does through. Away from the door from Blue's sight. Jeez. He was a bum. He was this bum for the first time that they met too. But Blue, this bum. He only known him for a little while. Not 100% close. But it was only like eating at him. If only would cheer him up and fight that trainer and bring him over so he wouldn't be bummed. Then they could have a battle with a complete heart in it, and Ethan would win. Then he could try his hardest to win that champion title again. That part isn't selfish, was it? He did win Blue to be cheer up, and then he did win to win really, really badly with his team. Though it was frustrating at the same time, either could win, even with a predicament. He didn't even like being salty about it. He was pretty convinced He was turning into like silver before they become friendly rivals at this point. It was quiet outside the office. Ethan's coat. He's actually over in a box in the front of a bathroom. And I lost it and found bin. Thank you for picking that up, Blue. Ethan happily slips him back on, slightly happily. Though he wonders why he didn't just hand it in to him when he come over. Busy, yeah. But he saw him with it last time. He was pretty sure his name was sewed and inside too. Whatever. Back to where it belongs. He did really have a dwell on it. It still did in his head, no matter how ridiculous it felt to be annoyed by some trivial humming noises or tipping. Huh, that's weird. Ethan was sure that they were alone, that there were only people in the building. Though the sound was coming from the bathroom, so maybe not. Maybe the sink faucet once was on there. Too subtle to be noticed until it was completely quiet. It'd be nice to shut that off for Blue so he doesn't have to pay the water bill. He's dealing with enough, isn't he? It is gentle enough to be water droplets. When the bathroom is entered, it's lights that hum, and the sink is dipping, though its sound of a sink with what he thought the rhythm was tamping with. The bathroom was empty. The smell of fresh paint clear around the mirrors that have a sign on the sink in front of saying wet paint in the corner against the pink. It was like frost glazed window is a pail of paint cans. Ethan frowns as he finds out that it's not for tipping, but it turns out the sink off anyways. Something eco-friendly. The paint was nice colored though. He looks at the cans. Guess they're not done yet. He glances at the mirror, gray eyes staring into the gray eyes. He joking him to himself as he makes finger guns. Hey, looking sharp. The paint is green. It's nice, but it's definitely odd for the gym like this. Well, it's Meridian. Of course it's green. What other color will be? Maroon? He doesn't know. Maybe a sea green. Bah, maybe more cerulean. It fits though. Nonetheless, Ethan's reflection feels like it doesn't fit at all. Just like his hat. Or maybe it could be. He swells for it. No doubt mussing his hair up. But that's what the hat was for. And his hair is short anyhow. It still doesn't feel right. Maybe it's just his hair. It's like it's short. Feels like it's too short. Should be messed it up. He'll try. No, that's not it. He tries to put it on a serious, no nonsense face, but that fails. But that falls apart. Now he just looks like some kicking houndor, angry but hurt. That's just stupid looking. Get it together, Ethan. But that just isn't it. He always looks stupid. Here now and back in when he lost to Blue over and over. Tears burn in his eyes, but he doesn't let them fall. He grabs the edge of a sink and his breath going in and out, but he just stares at himself. Why can't he do it? He tries his best. He loves his team. They want to win too. He know that they do. But he keeps not bringing enough. And that's stupid. Very stupid. That he just can't do it. Why can't he do it? His dumb face is broken and fractured. It still has tears in his eyes, blood oozing from cracks. And you look at his fist. The pain sets in. Obviously, he screams. There's a footstep that sprints towards the room. A squeaky noise of shoes gliding across the floor outside the door before it slams open. Ethan! What happened? Why? I'm sorry. I'll pay for it. His voice is rather cold despite his face reading an absolute panic, shame from a torn of it. Although the characteristic of Ethan saddened, even if outwardly, he's still freaking out about his hurt hand going ow when Blue touching. Sorry. I gotta get these out. Ethan whimpers in some pain, nodding. He doesn't complain about the glass shards needing to be taken out. He doesn't want them in either. Blue starts to pull on the shards, gently pulling them out one by one. In the gaze turn to panic and Michael flashes when they pricked out. Just scrunching up his face, tears still brimming in his eyes. They reflect the room if Blue looks in them. Ethan himself just staring at his hurt hand. About so hard he could burn a hole in them. On top of the cuts and fracture wounds. This is gonna sting. There. I got it covered. Yeah, no more punching mirrors, alright? Sorry, it just happened. That's alright. Let's just go back to the office. Doesn't feel right. Ethan hiss under his breath, his eyes drift behind him as they make their way back. He shakes his hand for what it feels like the 1,000th times, staring back at his bandaged hand. Blue sits back in his seat and starts talking. More about Red this, Red that. Ethan packs his bandages and bandages Lily. Jeez. It's like a broken record. He gets it. He's worried. He got a right to be worried. But Ethan's still annoyed by himself. Now that he's kind of getting annoyed with all the talk of the guy that went missing. Do you think maybe that he doesn't want to be found? What? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's out there somewhere, but how come he never told anybody? Not even his friend. I don't know. I'm just being stupid or something. Never mind, just ignore me. Blue brows his head, again with a hump, as Ethan peers into the window as he can see the paint can, green paint spilling out of its top, overflowing. Oh shoot! Ethan nearly jumps out of his skin despite it's just paint. He's thinking of telling Blue, but he's already pissed at him for screwing up twice now. He bets, so he just stares at the paint can, mouth slightly agape. It's just paint. Blue's shaking in Ethan's papyrus, his shoulders bobbing slightly as his hand in his hand. Is he crying? Why is he crying? Or is he just shaking? Both? He can't really do anything but stare. He must be crying as his breath hitches and falls apart, sniffing and whimpering coming from him as he tries to wipe his face. Hey, are you okay? Blue can't speak. He tries and just ends up dribbling from crying, shaking his head as he doesn't even bother lifting it to look at Ethan. Ethan hugs his arms as he doesn't know what to do. He just looks to Blue and the ground. I'll get out of your hair. Let me just call my friend. Ethan decides instead, fumbling for his poke gear as he opens the Simply Closet door, telling himself as he does so, not even caring if he heard. Ethan, you moron. Why do you say that? Either way, Blue wanted to tell him something as he made his way through the door. He couldn't have. Ethan locking himself inside. Alright, the paint. Goodbye to his shoes. The paint makes a sticky sound as he steps in it, squealing. That tapping noise is louder. Right beside him, it's warm in here, and also gross and annoying. He stops reaching for his poke gear. Ethan slowly instead moving his head towards the source of the noise. The tapping is coming from that paint can. It's far too warm, sweat already starting to run from its brow. Jeez, did Blue turn off the AC in here? Well, he wouldn't be too long. He expands himself with his hat that makes his way to the cans. What's going on in there? Small eyes flick open and goopy crackle can be heard. His vision started to wumble. Whoa. Is that a Pokemon? It has to be. He was about to go into the battle mode when his vision got shaky. Ethan groans somewhat. The grumpy crackles continue as he slips and loses balance, landing in overflowing paint. Sweat pooling on his face, soaking his clothes already. How is it so damn hot? He feels sick. He wants to throw up. He doesn't have the energy. Ethan hiccups as it laughs at him. Stop laughing. The door unlocks. A click being heard. Damn it, Blue. Couldn't you just clean up the storeroom? Now his clothes were drenched in paint. Ethan just keeps causing trouble, but this time it's not his fault. He stands shakily, taking a deep, wretched breath. Oxygen needed after being so hot. The light dripped from the door opening, indeed. He begins to fall as soon as he takes a step. Then he crashes against the desk, making Blue rise his fear-soaked face to stare at Ethan. What? What is wrong with you? I'm just trying to make a call, but then it was hot, and what do you mean? What's wrong with me? You're acting like what? Like an idiot? I'm aware of that. I'm not trying to screw up all the time. Is that what you're thinking? We need to focus on... No, tell me. Tell me what I'm missing. What am I doing wrong? Just sit down. What's so special about him anyways? I know he's missing and all if he doesn't want to be found. Why are we wasting the energy? Blue's eyes are wide as Ethan say that before he glares again. Get out. Ethan doesn't move a muscle. Blue grits his teeth. And Ethan just didn't care. Gripping the sides of his head and growls with frustration. Why? It runs around his head faster than it constants with a Pokémon do. Why wasn't he doing enough? Being enough? Why wasn't he good enough? Was he just dumb or something? Why didn't he get it? Blue takes a moment to reach for his Pokeball and he says he stand up. Ironically, Ethan sees red. Oh, that's your solution to everything, is it? He suddenly grabs Blue's wrist and hid his strength in it as he stretched the ball away from another hand. He throws it over his shoulder and the mechanism miraculously not activating. But he doesn't let go of Blue's wrist. Blue hits in pain, and the Pokeball being thrown, and he goes to reach to the others on the window ledge. Arky! He doesn't get his chance as he yanked by Ethan. With two hands now. Ari online. Pumping his veins when he pushes through the door of the supply room. You didn't even warn me it was hot in here. You look like a fool out of me. I don't know where you're going. Let go. You heard the door lock. I'm tired of being made fun of. I'm sick of it. Blue gasps as he trembles into the cans, yelping in pain, as one smacks him on the head, leaving a trail of blood running down in his face. His clothes were soaking in some green paint. Ethan's breath is rag as he nearly sinks against the door. He only leans against it, and he grips his face, though eyes are still pierced into Blue's. Even if he's bleeding, Ethan's trembling anger and shame. It doesn't seem to be the guilt or remorse. Shock, maybe, perhaps. He had it in him. Blue sits up and his head pressing to his face. Over the bloodlet patch, eyes squeezed shut and teeth grit together as he groans in pain. So? You don't get it. Don't mess with me. Whatever. Just get out of my gym already. That's set. Ethan's off. He tackles Blue despite him already being on the ground. And forcibly, Ethan turns Blue's head to the dark green mess that littered the floor. His lips nearly meeting with it. And yet, Blue makes a strange squeak. He tries to push back against Ethan's turning. He also attempting to fight back by kicking and thrashing. But it's not just doing a thing. But Ethan didn't let him. Instead, he brings his head towards the paint, smushing his face into it. Blue's making another squeaky noise. It tastes better, smooth but bitter, and it's disgusting, sort of metallic too. Humans position himself as Blue is forced to gag on the paint. It definitely shouldn't be entering his body. The fumes riding into his nose. Pyonget. I'm gonna make you feel sorry for me. Ethan, what are you doing? Say that you're sorry, or I'll call somebody. Instead, Blue thinks of a better idea than an undeserved apology. That just earns him a face full of pain from the bucket, still pinning him down by his hair. There's a dial of a Pokégear that clatters to the floor. It rings and rings until it picks up. Blue tries to hold his breath, but being panicked isn't helping as he grasps for air amongst the pain. Hacking in as he inhales more, his head moves to his side, Hurts like a bitch, she tries anyways. Ethan doesn't seem intent to kill him. Maybe. He occasionally lets Blue breathe. Maybe it's just a prologue in his dying. The caller on the other side asks, "What's going on? Is Ethan calling? What's the noise?" He giggles. La. No, you don't get to talk. I finally beat him. I'm not a sore loser anymore. Lance. Ethan makes a grunt as he bites his tongue. From the forest, making a strangled cry, he hugs it to the Blue. Torso as tight as he can, squeezing his chest. Where are you? Viridian. Fuck. I'm not sorry. Why do you have such a passive-aggressive jerk all the time? Just why? Why do you always have it? You don't care. I tried. I really fucking tried. You know, if I'm good or bad by battling you right now, I always keep losing. It hurts, you know. More mixture just slides down his throat. It burns and hurts. I just wanted to be like you and Red. Can't you see that? I just wanted to be like you guys. Ethan lets go. More accurately, he falls backwards, which didn't help the noise nor the injury in his head. Even if he was protected by fabric. Blue's limb felt like jelly, and it feels like he's balancing on clouds. But he pushes himself against the wall. He grabs onto the shelf, but pulls himself to stand, clinging into it. As he looked down and Ethan twitching, bleeding body. Yet more tears fall. I'm sorry. He needs to get out of here. Not only did just kill somebody, but he was going to collapse soon, and as much as he hated, he needed help. He tries to carry himself on wobbly legs, falling against the doors and walls as he does so, getting trapped in his puzzle for a good while until he could throw himself out of a door, keeping himself upright by gripping to it as he came face to face with another trainer. Silver. Ethan, why did you make me wait on the top of a... What the hell happened to you? Blue didn't answer. It takes a lot of minutes to awkward staring before he can even move his lips, but when he does another "I'm sorry," all Blue's whisper, he lets go of a door and fall past Silver. He barely able to keep rhythm in his steps as he tits side to side like he's drunk. Eyes barely able to stay open as everything becomes cloudier and spin faster. What is wrong with you? Is all Blues hears Silver's voice as he humbles onto the road, path, or who the hell cares? He's stumbling, and the world is spinning faster than it should. He's gotta be somewhere to someone, but he can't see a thing. It's pathetic, but you start calling out to different people like a lost kitten. Blue, stay cautious. Or you just jolt it away. No matter what, it takes a lot of efforts trying to keep it casual. Anyone at all. You just needed someone Most of the trainers didn't answer. They don't answer. But something holds on to him. That heartbeat was fluttery with worry, but it pumps. Strong with that warmth, almost looked like a dragon. He jolted as they moved quicker and quicker. Sleepy. He mumbles, letting that tiredness settle, even though he shouldn't. Lance Ethan. He sleeps sounds really good right now. Silver, do you have a Pokegear? It's so warm.